Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. Today we're going to do two things. So first one, well, not necessarily in this order. First one, we're going to prepare our lineup for today's match, which is about to start, and we'll be having a look at the what we stopped doing yesterday, which is scouting some youngsters. Yesterday, as you might remember, we had um, no room for new players, but today we sold two players for respectively 22 and 52 million. So I think we'll have some room for a couple of players at least. I think the very first thing we want to do is scout some players, and then we'll prepare our lineup for our next match. Let's have a quick look. So the youth development is here. As you might remember, this one guy and this one guy were not extremely promising, so we were not about to promote them straight away. We'll see what to do with them. First things first, what we want to do is promoting this guy. As you can see, 18 years of age, 3 stars recommendation already, and 4.5 stars potential. With of course, due to these 3 stars recommendation, we can easily understand that this guy has got very good basic skills. So, and a higher basic wage, which is something funny. Never seen this before, but let's promote him and then we'll see what to do with him. Let's first scout him and update the training page while we do so. Scout reports. Alright, no special professionalism. I'm definitely not impressed with it. And yeah, that seems to be a very common thing lately. We've got some very good players with very high potential, and then their professionalism is very low. So this is a guy that we don't want to play in the first team, I'm afraid. Since central midfielders are very hard to train, I think we'll train him with technique, crossing, and pace. So as a winger, basically. On top of that, he's supposed to get better with marking, tackling, positioning, heading, no matter what kind of training we're going to give him. So I think this is a good choice. So, he's called Vidotto. Yes, that's what tactical drills is what we should do if we wanted him to become a good central midfielder, but we want to try and make him a good winger. So let's go for the winger drills. Then let's try and see whether these guys have any potential for us. This guy has got somewhat low finishing skills, and we are in need of a goalkeeper for the future. Because we're about to, well, we've just sold one and we're about to transfer list one more, hopefully. So let's have a look at him first, since it might be more urgent. Let's go and scout him. Yeah, this way. Superb professionalism. Alright, which is very, very good for a goalkeeper. As you might remember, Sodimo used to have 3 stars potential and he was 18, I think. So I'm not saying that this guy, since he hasn't got very good reflexes or jumping, I'm not saying that this guy will reach the 4.5 stars just like Sodimo, but I am pretty sure he'll get at least to 3 stars, possibly 3.5 at least. So yeah, we'll keep him. No, it doesn't matter to have a look at the training screen because he'll be training as a goalkeeper anyway, so we don't have to modify anything. The problem now is that we don't have any room for Centofanti, so either we find somebody to fire, and I have to be honest, I've been looking into it yesterday, as I said in my latest video, but I couldn't find a player I'd really wanted to fire because it's got very low potential. So we'll be waiting till I possibly get my hands on a player that we want to fire. Not sure though that this is ever going to happen. We'll be waiting. So first let's close this, and now let's have a look at our next lineup. So next opponents will be 90's. 90's, they sit here in the league. They're a very strong team. They've been conceding a tiny bit less goals than we did. They've been scoring a tiny bit more, well, a bit more than we did. So it's going to be extremely hard as a match. But as I said, we don't care too much about the score right now. All we want to do at the moment is increasing our players' routine in order for us to perform, to carry out a better campaign during the next season. So 90's are here. Alright, one good thing is that they don't have players on the wings, at least according to what they did against Globetrotter. So 44.1 with 4 stars, very good goalkeeper. 11.8 with 4.5 stars. Oh, disqualified central defender. One more disqualified central defender. 14.5 with 4 stars. 4.5 stars with 24.6. Yeah, interesting guy. And then 4.5 stars with 23.9. 22.8 with 4.5 stars. Very interesting midfield, this one. Then 19.8 with 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars, 23.8. Not extremely high finishing skills though. And then very good finishing skills here with 4.5 stars and 20.9 routine. So interesting, very interesting squad, in particular midfield and possibly those two strikers. What we'll have to do now is of course playing on the wings, as we usually do under these kind of circumstances, and we'll probably go a tiny bit defensive, because we do want to go defensive, but not too much, because these guys will not be able to count on their central defenders. I'd rather do one thing though, because since we've got a faster computer today, what I'd like to do is go into their squad and have a look at what they look like. Lin Binkai, central defender, 4 stars, 14.7. So this might be a sub for those two central defenders who were disqualified. And then apparently we've got this one guy, Puliga, 24.6 with 4.5 stars, very good defender as well. So they're not supposed to suffer too much with the absence of those two central defenders, I'm afraid. Yes, I think we don't really have to care too much about the fact that those two guys were disqualified. They've got good defenders anyway. So as we can see here, Mazzotta was disqualified, so what we want to do first is swap him out for Fabris. Fabris, since he's got higher heading skills level, he'll go next to Zanotti. And then Bricu will not be playing since we're trying to transfer list him, and we don't want him to get injured by any means, so he will not be playing. And then we might want to play Yossa in the attempt to win this one. Hopefully they'll, I don't know, they'll mess something up by swapping those two central defenders. But we won't do it because we don't want him to get injured either. We want him to be able to play the very first matches of the next season in full shape. So I think this is the lineup we want to keep. There are no further disqualifications, so we'll go straight and have a look at the subs. So Fishnala will be replaced by Quiricone, which is correct, just like the other two. Slightly defensive, I believe, is the right way to do this, because we're supposed to have a little boost for Sodimo's routine, so I don't think it's really worth it to go more defensive than this, despite the opponent's skills, of course, which are very good. But, well, we're both not trying to win this match at any costs, and in my opinion, we should be able to at least counter this kind of midfield somehow, and probably these two strikers as well, since they have got very good skills, but they haven't got massive amount of routine. So I think this is a good way to go. Slightly defensive, so being careful with them and not being too scared of them. I probably made a mistake last time. Rikul was kept as a corner and penalty kicker, so I've made a mistake. Let's correct this one straight away. So crossing, so log in is probably more suitable for this, and yeah, for penalty kicks as well. Yeah, definitely. So penalty kicks as well for login, and I think this is it, guys. I think this is it. I'm sorry for not being too focused on the lineup, but at least this hasn't made this video one how long, and it will anyway give us a very good idea, this lineup, by the end of the match, whether we did a somewhat decent choice by sending some of our best players. So guys, thanks a lot again for watching. See you in the next video, and hopefully we'll have a positive outcome for this match as well. So bye bye.